Happy New Year, and we're hoping it's going to be a great 2021 for everybody. And without further ado, I'll pass it on to Sarah.
Thanks, Logan. Hey, everyone. I'm glad you're here. If any of you are, I don't know how many of you are actually getting on or who will pop on through this or watch it later, but welcome to our January expansion meeting of Isaiah 117 House, Marion County. My name is, hey, Jody. Hey, Jody, I can hear you if you don't mind muting your thing. It's probably echoing on my phone. Maybe not. Maybe nobody else can hear you. My name is Sarah McDaniel, and I'm the expansion coordinator for Isaiah 117 House, Marion County. We tried this last month because we had to do virtual last month as well. If you don't mind, just making a comment here or wherever, if you're watching it now, if you're watching it later, it just helps to be able to see who all is joining and who all is getting involved here. Let's start off. We should start us off with a word of prayer. I know we've got some people in our expansion committee who are sick with COVID. We have people who have lost loved ones due to that, not to mention just normal life stuff. So I think we should start out with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you so much for all that you have done. I thank you for just the work that you have done and through the people that you have done it to bring us this far in this expansion. I know that there's been a lot going on in the world, in our country, in our communities, and even in our homes with the extraordinary circumstances. I pray you'd be with those who are sick. Lord, give them comfort and peace and healing. For those that are mourning the loss of their loved ones, that you would also give them comfort and peace and sweet memories of their loved ones, Lord. I pray as we go into this meeting that you would just help us to honor and glorify you, and that we would always have your purposes first in our heart. And we thank you for that in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so first off, I want to start out with some updates of what's happened over this last month since we met at the beginning of December. We were just talking before we got on. It almost sounds like a broken record now to be like, well, because of COVID, we couldn't. But that is the case. There's been a lot of changes in how we do things. There's been a lot of people who are waiting in a holding pattern to kind of do anything because of this. And there's even been, and even with the holidays, there's been people are busy with a lot of stuff. But there are still things happening. So last month at our meeting, we talked about Christmas for DCS, year-end donations, and that kind of a thing. And you guys really did come through. We got several year-end Christmas donations. We have people who have signed on to be monthly donors going forward. And so that's a huge encouragement to see that people are jumping in there. Also, we asked about a Christmas tree. So we were wanting to put up a Christmas tree at DCS West's office. They didn't have one. And since we don't have a home yet, the kids are still going to continue to go there if they're removed during the holidays. And so you guys showed up again. We had several people offer to donate trees. We had several people offer to donate money to buy trees. And then when we got a tree donated, that was a really awesome tree. And all the decorations donated it sounds funny, but they just happened to go together. It looked really neat. What I was hoping is that it would look like a home tree. It would look like, the tree you have in your living room with your ornaments and things that mean something to you. And that's exactly what it turned out to be. And then those who had donated money for a tree decided they would use that money for gifts. So we were also able to take a bunch of toys and different things for DCS to be able to give to children that were going to be removed this month. They also asked about, Alexis had talked about that there was opportunity for specific sponsorship. So specific children that were taken into care that maybe weren't going to be able to have a normal Christmas or have a Christmas. And you guys stepped up again with toys and gift card donations. And we, through our very beginnings of Isaiah 117 Marion County, you guys sponsored 10 specific children through DCS West. So I think that's pretty amazing for our start. I don't know if this will make sense to everybody, but for me and for those that were with me, that we were able to go set up the tree, to decorate, to bring. DCS was so appreciative, and it was just neat for me. I'm coming up on a year of since I first heard of Isaiah 117 House. I was just looking today. It was February 7th of last year that I read the article and heard of it for the first time, and then reached out to Isaiah 117. Coming up on a year, and for me longer than that, of having a desire to continue to help in some way, to continue to help the DCS case workers who are so overworked, and who have such a big job on their plates, and to be able to continue to help the foster children and the kids in kinship care. And it was just such a neat thing. It was such a, I don't know, it was such, I was just felt so privileged to be able to actually do something now with all we've been talking about and saying we wanted to do. To actually be able to start doing something was amazing. And then you guys also donated, and we also teamed up with Traders Point Christian Church, and we were able to take over the week of Christmas. We were able to take over to DCS 12 dozen Long's Donuts, some fruit, some granola bars, some fun decorations for their little Christmas treat. And Traders Point donated. They brought a bunch of different drinks, all the paperware, plasticware, all that, and it was just a really neat to be able to do that. And we hope to be able to do that ongoing. That will be something that we do as a house and as a ministry, is to be able to continue to just take little treats over there, just to let them know that we're thinking of them and that we want to support them. I have had a few meetings this month, a couple with DCS, one with a local church in our area, just to be able to talk to them about Isaiah 117 House. So there is stuff happening. I know that you guys are having opportunities on a personal basis with people you know and are seeing, family members over the holidays, maybe, to be able to share this ministry. And I know God is working. We also started the Share Your Why video series on Facebook, and a few more of you have jumped in, and we've been able to do that. I actually didn't check with Logan. Maybe he can share later. I don't know if he's got any in the queue for the coming weeks, but if you're still wanting to, if you're willing to, I should say, maybe you're not wanting to, but if you're willing to get on and share a short video, 3 to 5 minutes of your why, of what makes you want to be involved here, because if you are, you have a reason why, and just sharing that. And you can send that to Logan, and then he will schedule a Saturday to post that on our page. Let me see what else here I'm looking at, make sure I get talking and then I miss my bullet points. So those are kind of the updates from this month. Like I said, we were able to do a lot with Christmas with DCS, which was amazing. And I guess a year update, it's still amazing to me what God's done in less than a year since I first heard about it, and how many of you he's brought along and brought us together. So how many of you heard about this, and how many people I've talked to who are like, oh yeah, I heard about it, whether it was the Return the Favor or someplace else. And then they saw that we were having one. And so people have jumped in, and God was working before we even had our kickoff in people's hearts and in their minds to want to be part of this. And so as is continuing, as you're sharing and talking to people, there is always opportunity to sign up for the newsletter that goes out first Friday of every month, except this month, with the first Friday being the first, will be going out next Friday. They can go to our website, and you can sign up there, and you can sign up to receive any of the newsletters. But obviously pick Marion County if you want to get Marion County's newsletter monthly. We still are in need of any contacts you have for groups that may want to hear about Isaiah 117. We can do it virtually. We can do it in person. We will also in the future be needing some help with our luncheon and dinner that's being planned. We're also looking for storage. We have a few leads, but haven't gotten anything concrete yet. If you haven't been on our Facebook or heard, basically there's somebody that has offered to donate pallets. We don't know how many pallets or exactly what that looks like, but pallets of brand new luggage for children entering foster care in Marion County. But there's no place. They approached DCS. DCS has no place to put it. We have no place to put it yet. So we're looking for a storage place, preferably on the west side, close to DCS West's office. and something that we can access anytime we would need it. So yeah, so I don't know exactly what that looks like. That could be someone that has storage. That could be someone who knows someone who has storage. That could be someone who knows or who owns storage units who wants to donate, or someone who just says, hey, I'm going to go, my contributions, I'm going to pay for a storage unit. Ideally, this will be temporary because we want to have a large amount of storage at the house when we have a house. So ideally, this would be just until we have a house and someplace where we can store at the house. But we'll see. Like I said, still following some leads. And if you have any, I'd love to hear from you. Upcoming for this new year, it's exciting for me in my own mind. I kind of compartmentalize things by time. So this year's 2020 is done. Now it's 2021, and all the things that people are saying they're going to do in 2021. Now's the time. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The luncheon subcommittee will be working on planning a minister's breakfast, which will be a time to get together with any clergy really, but focusing mainly on the West Side, to share the ministry, to pray with them, to ask them to pray with us for this ministry, and just to try to, get their support of this. Cam Piercefield was able to contact Community Health Network Foundation, and we're working on narrowing down a date for me to virtually share the ministry with them. So that's an amazing opportunity. Coming into the spring, coming into warmer weather, there may be more opportunities to do things like a community-wide lemonade stand challenge, things that they have done in the past, but we haven't been able to with COVID and going into the cold weather. As we mentioned last month, we do have a date and a venue for our fundraising lunch and dinner. It will be split. Same day, April 20th, but we will have a lunch that will be an hour long, and we'll have a dinner that'll be an hour long, 200 at each. So that'll give people the opportunity to do whichever works best in their schedule, and that's at the venue that is going to donate their space is called 1899. The number, that's all it is. It's the number 1899. If you want to look at their website, it's 1899indy.com. It's really a gorgeous place. And I also, along with that, since that lunch and dinner will be our first official fundraising event, just kind of talk through again for those who may be new or don't remember what our financial goals are. What are we working toward? We have had some donations come in. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what they are. I don't keep track of the finances. That's not my job. But we are having people regularly donating financially as they're able. And that's an amazing encouragement to see. I kind of wish that all of you could see that, but I don't think that that's something we can actually do. But our financial goals as an organization, Isaiah 117 sets up. Obviously, we need a home. We need probably to renovate a home, and then we need trainings and all those kind of things till we can open our doors. Our first step financially, when we have our fundraising luncheon, is we need to raise $75,000. We need to have $75,000 in the bank before, as an organization, they will allow us to break ground. I don't know what specifically that looks like with a renovation, which is what I'm guessing it will be, but I don't know. I don't know specifically, but what I know is our first financial goal is $75,000. That can be met beforehand. That can be met at the fundraising luncheon. That could be met afterward. That may be used to start looking for a home. We could have someone step up and donate land or a home before then. We don't know, and so we could go into that already having the land and the home. And then once we continue with the fundraising, then our next goal, once we have the home and the money for that, is we need another $75,000 in the bank before we are allowed to open doors, which is basically first year's budget. And that's how the house will operate always, is we will always be fundraising always for the next year's budget. So you're always working towards the next year. Those two numbers are numbers they pick. They may or may not be what we need. We may need more, we may need less. We don't know what God's going to do, but that is our goal. And I thought it might be helpful to revisit that. Along with that, as we're looking to the new year and how things are going to happen and transition as we move, I guess, never out of raising awareness phase, but move then again in particularly in April to the fundraising. As an organization, Isaiah 117 has fundraisers that every Isaiah 117 house has to participate in their community. Although all funds always go to Isaiah 117 house in our community. So any fundraiser we do, all of the funds raised will go to Marion County's home. And so one of those that they started, I think this year was the first year, was a golf tournament. And I personally was very excited because they told us as an organization, they don't really want me doing it, but someone needs to. And I didn't even have to ask. Logan was part of the one in Vanderburgh County at their home this year, and he's really wanting to do this. So I am like, I don't know if I can even tell him how excited I am that he wants to do this. So Logan's going to get on now and just kind of introduce this to you as something that will be coming up. There will be other fundraiser kind of things, but this is one that will be coming up. And so he's going to talk to you for a minute about that.
Awesome. Yeah, I am equally as excited for the golf tournament. I was part of the Vanderburgh County golf tournament this year. I mainly just took pictures and kind of just floated around and did anything they asked me to do. But I'm really excited to see what Marion County can do for this. So I'm just going to show a few of the photos that I took, and I'll just kind of explain how the whole day works. So we have our registration table, and a lot of registration is done beforehand, but obviously you check in when you get there. And then it's going to be like an indoor type, banquet hall or any venue like that, that is hopefully attached to the golf course or very, very near the golf course. And then we have our prize table here. So the awesome part was almost everything was donated nearly the whole day. So we were very lucky in Vanderburgh County that we had lots of businesses that were able to sponsor prizes, and Cambridge Golf Course, which offered up their course and the venue for the day. And then let's see. So this was what the attendance for golfers looked like. I want to say it was in the neighborhood of around 100. Don't quote me on that, but it was a beautiful day, and we had a lot of happy people out there ready to golf. And then another cool part is each tee box is going to have a sign. So even if you're not a golfer, if maybe you're not able to volunteer, if you own a business or know someone who would like to sponsor, they're able to sponsor a hole on the course. And there is, at least with Vanderburgh County, we were able to do through Torian Insurance, we did a hole-in-one on a par 3, and it was worth $10,000. Nobody ended up getting the hole-in-one, but we were all really hopeful that somebody would. So I'm really excited for it. The date that we have nailed down right now is September 27th. So let me go ahead and put that on the screen for anybody that maybe isn't able to hear me. So September 27th, go ahead and mark that down. That is really the extent of all the details that are set in stone. Kind of like Sarah said, it in 2020 was the first, the annual part of it. There had been a few houses that had done it before, just kind of on their own as a fundraiser. And then Isaiah 117 house thought, this is a great thing that we can do, and it can be implemented because there's a golf course in every county, really. So that's one of the things that we're excited for, and we're looking forward to all of the things that come along with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my email up on the screen. If any of you have, obviously I can just look up and find all the golf courses that are in Marion County, but if any of you have connections there, people that you know, or if you personally would be interested in helping with something, you can either message us on Facebook or you can send an email there, and I will definitely be sharing some more updates on Facebook and Instagram about different things that are going to be needed, and the list of volunteers needed and things like that as we move forward. So it brings a big smile to my face because I love volunteering and I love golf, and whenever you bring them all together, it's just an awesome, awesome day. So I think Sarah's going to hop back on. We have had a few people that weren't able to join tonight, so she's going to be pulling double duty and doing a lot of talking. So here she comes right back on. All right.
Okay, yeah, so like Logan said, we've got some people out sick. Our speaking engagement subcommittee and our luncheon subcommittee heads are all sick tonight. So I'm going to be sharing those. And also along with that, just want to let you know, we're not going to be, I mean, it kind of makes me laugh to say it, like officially breaking it into groups tonight. Like it's kind of a weird thing with trying to do it virtually anyway. So we're not going to be officially splitting up tonight, even though we kind of were all split up anyway. But your individual subcommittee heads, if you're on a subcommittee, they'll be reaching out. Some of them have already to kind of give you any updates, give you any discussion of planning and things that need to be done going forward. Like we said, with Christmas and everything and the holidays, it seems like there was a bit of a pause, but we're ramping up now into the new year. And so they will be reaching out to you. The two that are sick, when they're feeling better, will reach out to you probably and continue with planning and maybe even some kind of a virtual meeting. So first off, the speaking engagement updates. Ursula said they were able to get a long list of connections from Alexis, who is our friend that is always here on our meetings from DCS. She's our connection there. And so she was able to give them a long list of leads and possible connections of people who would like to know about Isaiah 117. We also, from Keith Smith, our luncheon subcommittee head, he compiled a list of churches in the West Side, which is where we're concentrating. And so we were able to pass that on to the speaking engagement subcommittee as well. And so they're going to be reaching out there. They broke that list up among the committee. And so they kind of weren't pushing too hard with the holidays. So they're hoping to start really working on that listing and reaching out this month. If you do have any leads, please email Ursula. I am sorry, I don't have her email sitting right here like I should have to tell you, but you can also email me or message the Facebook page and I can get you her email. Yes, obviously you can reach out to people, and if you know them personally, if it's a personal connection, I would say do that. We're just trying to keep somewhat of a, so we're not, so we don't have 20 people. I know that's probably exaggeration, but 20 people reaching out to the same people, especially if they're saying no or even saying yes, I guess, and they have people keep asking them, could get maybe a little bit annoying. As far as the luncheon subcommittee, as you know, last month we had just gotten the venue, and so they're going to continue to work with the venue and go over there, look at it, figure things out there, and they're going to be working on the minister's breakfast, hopefully coming up maybe in about a month and a half or so. Also, we found out that Foster Contracting is going to be donating up to $5,000 to cover the cost of our catering, and that should completely cover that. And they're going to be doing that through Malone's Catering. So we're very thankful to Foster Contracting for being willing to do that for us. And now we're going to move on to the T-shirt subcommittee with Kim Piercefield.
Hi. So this month we have sold 13 T-shirts. We increased our social media presence regarding the T-shirts. Logan has been periodically posting something about the T-shirts, and we've been trying to repost them. So we would appreciate any help that you can give us in reposting, because the more people that see it, the better it will be for awareness and help us out. So especially at this time when we're not as able to get out as much on our own, we're really relying on the social media. So reposting would be fabulous. We do have a lead. Someone had given us a lead. Rides Gymnastics is going to be having a gymnastics tournament, hopefully February 12th through the 14th. And they have vendors set up outside in the hallway. I think it's the gathering place during their event. So we have emailed them and we're waiting to hear back, but we're hoping to be able to set up a table there and sell our T-shirts, and hopefully, if it works out, maybe incorporate some of the hot chocolate as well. So we're waiting to hear from that, but if we do get to participate, we might need some volunteers to help man the tables for that event. And as of now, that's how our month of December went. So we would appreciate any reposting of social media. And if you know of any events coming up that we could participate in, please just send me an email and I'll contact them and hopefully we can get something set up. But we appreciate your help. Thanks.
Okay, and now if is Jody able to get on? If not, I'm going to share for her because she did give it to me. I don't see her. Do you see her?
She actually just had to drop out just a second
Okay.
ago. Her
All
Wi-Fi
right.
has been on the fritz.
That's fine. She said she sent me it just in case. So Jody is fine. She's not sick. She's just having her internet sick, I guess. And so for the lemonade stand subcommittee, as you know, they've been focusing on doing hot chocolate since it's winter, and they had the idea to do a promotion with hot chocolate mix jars. And so they actually were able to sell 106 jars, which I think was amazing in a month. They put together and they sold 106 jars. They raised $470 that they were able to donate. She said several donations came in to help make that happen. So maybe some of you who are listening were able to go on and they had a Amazon wish list to be able to donate some of the ingredients and the jars for them to be able to do that. Thank you if you did that. She said they would love to sell more jars in January and February. So this is not just a Christmas thing. This is still going on. Everybody loves hot chocolate in the winter. Not all of us should drink it, but we all love it. This could be just an anytime gift. There's Valentine's coming up. Just a gift to show people that you appreciate them and to help spread awareness for Isaiah 117. She said that, she said these make great wintertime gifts, Valentine's, kids' birthdays, teachers' gifts, shut-ins. Maybe you're having a party, a kid's party, any party, and you want to do them as favors. They're $5 a jar, which is really reasonable. They still could use donations. So you can contact Jody at 317-224-9662. Or Nikki Higdon and give donations or place orders. Again, if you didn't get that number, you can email me at sarah.mcdaniel@isaiah117house.com and I can get you the contact information. You can message the Facebook page and again, we can connect you there. That's just another promotion that seems to be doing well and something that, again, I think they're still offering to be able to deliver locally if that's something that you'd like to do. And I'm going to get back to my notes here. And along with it, kind of reminded me when Kim was talking, that I do want to thank you all who have continued to work, continue to do this. I think there is something to it. Can seem isolating when we're not really getting together in person, and even when we are, not as many people can come, and it can seem like, and doing virtually, like, is anybody really doing this? I know I was talking to my husband earlier and I said that's one of the things I really enjoy about the meetings is because even virtually there seems to be more of a flurry of activity around it, and it reminds me that I'm not the only one doing this. I'm not the only one trying, to keep the wheels of this turning. You guys are all doing this. And on social media, thank you all who are on there, who are sharing, who are commenting, and just keeping those posts going. We are, from what I'm seeing, we are consistently having new people like our page. And so that is a really good thing. And I really am excited to see what God's going to be doing this year and where we're going to be this time next year. I'm going next week to be able to take the Christmas tree down from the DCS West so they don't have to take it all down. And I was commenting when we put it up, but I just have it in my mind. It makes me wonder, where will we be next year? Where will we be putting up the tree? Will we still be putting it up at DCS? Will we have a home to put the tree up in? And I'm just really excited to see excited to see not only what he's going to do, but what I know he's already doing that we're just not seeing yet. And so as I've thought through this week and even this morning, some thoughts that had popped into my mind is just for me revisiting, why am I doing this? The busyness of the holidays. I will admit there's moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting one more thing on my plate? Why as I'm sure every single person who's listening to this has plenty on their plate. Probably none of you are thinking, I wish I had one more thing that I could do. I have all this time and I'm looking for something to fill it. And so what I really will always go back to is the reason for me, and I think for a lot of you, the reason we're doing this is we love because he loved us first. I want to, the only reason I can love anybody, the only reason I have a desire to love anybody but myself is because of how God has loved me. He has loved me where I am, but he hasn't left me where I am. He's loved me in my brokenness, but he doesn't leave me broken. And this is exactly the kind of love that we want to show to case managers who are discouraged, who are overworked, who are overwhelmed. This is exactly the kind of love that we want to show to these kids who will come into our home, that we can begin showing now, especially if we get a storage space, that we can begin even now showing them through donations that that kind of love that loves in spite of who we are, that kind of love who doesn't want to leave us where we are, but wants something better for us. And that kind of love that is so self-sacrificing as God through his son to take the punishment for something that we deserved. And so we will continue, those of us who are on board, we will continue by God's grace to love because he loved us first. And just a side note, if you are listening, if you're part of this expansion, if you're not, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about that kind of love, if that doesn't make sense to you, if you haven't experienced that, please reach out to me. I would love more than anything to share that with you, because that is the basis of all of this. That is the basis of why I'm doing what I'm doing. That is the basis of why I believe all of us, it could be a lot more comfortable just to stay in our own little worlds, but we can't, because he loved us first. And that kind of love demands attention. That kind of love demands action. As we conclude here tonight, again, we're not officially breaking up into groups. Your group may decide to break up. It's obviously been a shorter meeting, and I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. I am going to hang on and check real quick because Jody texted me that I didn't miss something. Nope, she just said thanks. You're welcome, Jody. And so hopefully I didn't miss anything. And just to remind you all, our next meeting, we're going to pray. It's in person. I think it will do us all good to be able to do it in person again, but we'll see. The next meeting is February 7th. It's a 6:30 to 7:30 meeting at Emmanuel Church, Garfield Park campus. And we will create an event on Facebook if you have any questions, and that will be to get you all the information for that. But yeah, hopefully we will be able to meet in person and get to just talk together, discuss all these things again. And thank you guys for being on board. Thank you for what you're doing. And I just want to say, keep praying and keep going in what you're doing, and have a good night. Bye.